Hi, Shamah Bulangis, 19, Negros, Oriental. I sincerely believe in the power of starting young. I have been an advocate for women empowerment for years now, be it in the area of education, health, or gender equality because I started young. I implemented projects related to my advocacy, became a peer educator for adolescent female health, specializing in violence against women and their children at high school. I also talked to the World Health Organization about VAUC at 16 and represented the Philippines for an international forum at 17. My point here is not to brag, but to paint a picture of what a young person can achieve through starting young. The Sangguniang Kabataan is the perfect venue for training in the government at a young age. You can attend a lot of seminars about good governance, but a hands-on experience is most effective to properly prepare you for the government. Reforming rather than abolishing SK is practical for the local government units and has more merits than harms for the youth. First is that it's practical for the LGUs. Having an SK is going to ease the responsibilities of the barangay when it comes to planning and implementing youth development programs. The SK will be the ones who will create the plan and implement their plans, and the local government officers will just have to guide the SKs through their projects. They shouldn't just limit them to the paliga and the beautification projects that what most are criticizing of the SK. Second is that we need to take into consideration the merits over the demons of this program. 3 subpoints on this topic. First is to address the continuing criticisms of SK being a breeding ground for corrupt leaders. Second is the culture of apathy in the youth voters. And third is the significance of having an SK. First subpoint is that the SK is a breeding ground for corruption. Though it may be true that some families have been using SK to further their dynastical power in office, it is not the institution per se that causes corruption in these young leaders. It is the state of the government that is corrupting these young leaders. This is why there is a proposed anti-dynasty reform along with the proper allocation of SK funds. Second subpoint is the apathy that is a great problem in the youth of the country, mainly because they do not believe that they have a voice in the policies. Abolition of SK is going to sever the umbilical cord of the government to the young Filipinos and eventually reinforce the apathy that is poisoning the atmosphere of active and civic involvement in the youth. We are finding ways to create a difference, and with the energy that the youth have, we can. Third subpoint is that some people would consider SK insignificant and irrelevant in terms of projects that the SKs implement. There will be people who will criticize these young government leaders because of their age. And there is also a proposed amendment for that. But age is never a measure of credibility. It's maturity. Also, when did giving an opportunity for the youth to perform their roles in nation building irrelevant and insignificant? Ask Jose Rizal, never. Exactly. Reforms are in place. Reforms should take place.